Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh my gosh, we already have Antoine and Mafu in the chat. Hello everyone, what's up? Oh shoot, Mafu says we got an alert saying that everything's under control and we should be safe. Yikes, I hope so. Holy cow. My goodness gracious. I am doing really well. I coming off of a really great weekend. I got to hang out with my sister and we got to do curling this weekend together. I celebrated my birthday with her and it was a really good weekend. The weather was really nice, so travel was really easy. And now I get to be back here hanging out with you lovely people. Hopefully you're all staying safe. Don't love hearing that might not be the case, so glad to hear you guys are all safe, which is good. Okay, so I told a bit of a fib last week. I said I was going to try and do some traditional work, and here we are with some more tarot. I just didn't have enough time to prep some I have some traditional stuff I want to do. I have a couple projects in mind and I think would be really fun to even just be in Photoshop or something else next week. But just because I was traveling this weekend and everything else, I just didn't quite have time to prep something that would be fun for you to watch. You just see me starting from scratch. So I thought maybe we'll work on this guy. We'll finish this off. Hopefully if we're able to finish the art in time, maybe we'll go back and show some of like the Behance process that I do, but we'll see how far we get today because there's still quite a bit that has to be done. I haven't touched this since last week. So we're going to work a little bit here and then see how far we can get. Antoine says, wait, it was my birthday. It was on Saturday. It was my birthday. I got to hang out with my sister, which was super fun. Mafi says, we're safe now. I hope I don't pronounce this incorrectly. I'm so sorry. Alhamdulillah. But I don't know if the war zone's over completely. Oh my gosh. Well, please stay safe. Please stay safe. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. And you're close. Oh, thank you, Mafu. I'm so sorry if I didn't pronounce it. I'm not very great at some pronunciations, and I don't want to offend anybody. And thank you, Antoine. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see where we're at with this. Okay, good. Okay, so let's see. Where did we leave off? So you have actually a lot more shading in here than I thought. So I think we'll work on the jugglers a little bit. They need a tiny little bit of definition. And then we will get into, we have some magic to put on here and a few other fun things. So let's just see what we've got here first. So we did a lot of fun things with lighting and kind of having the jugglers be pushed back. And, oh, and a few. Having the jugglers be pushed back into the scene. And actually I got some feedback from the last stream saying it's kind of interesting to have the ringmaster be front and center because that's not usually the case. Usually they're kind of like, here's the show you're going to see. So I like that kind of came across as something just a little bit different. So I always love hearing feedback like that. It's so great. Mafu says, I'm ready for a happy Aaron Senpai stream. Okay, I will do my best to be as fun as possible. What good things have everybody been up to? I caught Mafu's stream Friday. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. I was glad to be able to catch it. And everybody kind of streams right before I have meetings and things, so I like to catch people when I can. You're always fun. Oh, good. Thank you. I don't want to be boring. That would be such a bummer. Okay, so this is where some of the splattery brushes are. But I don't think I want them as dark as what we did on the first one, because I think that would be a little too dark. We just kind of want to give a little bit of definition here. just to give a bit of pattern, but not so much that it gives detail that would pull these guys to the front. We want to make sure that they're getting kind of similar treatment to the other parts of the card, but if I give them too much definition or detail, I think we would be having them compete with our ringmaster again. I don't want to do that. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh man. All right. So I don't think this is actually going to take as long as I thought, but that's cool because I can kind of switch up a little bit, and we can go through the process of what I would do next, which I don't always show. And next week, because I'm mostly done the apartment now, and I'm not traveling this weekend. This first weekend I don't really have huge plans in a while, so I'm planning on doing some studio catch-up in my nice fancy new apartment. Finally sit and relax with Mr. Mojo. He's been very patient for his turn. Yeah, I did see some of the Tekken stuff, I believe, and it was really fun. It was very cool. I don't know very much about those kinds of games, but it was very cool to see that. See you play and see everything that you've been talking about and what you're talking about on the streams and things. So that was pretty awesome. I enjoyed that. NRB's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. We're here back with some more tarot this week, just because I ran out of studio time. But we will be getting to something else potentially next week. Poor Mojo wanted attention. Mojo's been very patient with me, and because I've been rearranging the apartment and I've been doing the furniture, he's been hanging out with me, but we're not doing our normal like couch cuddles and as much minutes as I think he would prefer. So this weekend we're gonna get caught up. Come on, Aaron, Tekken is an awesome game. I believe that. I believe it. I'm actually a little concerned, like worried that it would actually be too awesome, and then I wouldn't get all my studio stuff done ever again. That's okay. Someday I'll go in more in depth on the game if I ever get to see you, for sure. Yeah, I'll have to make sure to catch the stream a little bit more because I always like to learn about these things, and you seem very excited about it, so I always want to learn more. For sure. What have you been up to, RB? What is the tea? I don't know that I wanted to do that, but that's okay. If you believe people can fly, Tekken is great. Well, I do watch a lot of superhero movies. I did watch the Last Airbender TV show. So flight is not really outside of my belief system. Nothing at all. And it's Independence Day. Awesome. Good. So it's a holiday for you. Oh, awesome. That's very cool. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you haven't been doing anything. You've been relaxing. That's excellent. A day off is always key. Devil, Jin, and Elisa, they can fly. That's cool. And Devil Jin's the one that you play. Okay, that's neat. Flying would be pretty cool. There would be less traffic. That'd be nice. Well, I guess if everybody could fly, there'd probably be more traffic in the flying, but that would be kind of fun. Oh dear, I fought in the war, so I might as well take a holiday. Yeah, take the holiday you deserve then. My goodness, I did not know that. I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff today, guys. Very brave. Very brave of you. Definitely take the holiday. Yikes. I'm learning all kinds of things today. Okay, so Mapu was talking about her character, Jin. Devil Jin is the devil blood inside of him. That sounds really scary. Very dark. But a lot of great artistic potential. Yikes. Oh dear. Okay, what do I have here? Let's... yeah, I think we can keep using this. We're going to switch to a different brush. And we're going to paint inside. And we're going to bring it down to... Nope, not that one. Like this one? Did it stay the right one? Sweet. Okay, we're painting inside. Nope, it didn't stay. It's very frustrating. Round opacity. 150. Come on, you. Sheesh. Dangerously cool and scary. Takes over Jin's body whenever Jin's in trouble. Oh my goodness. Maybe you'll be converted, RB. Maybe you'll be converted into a fan. This doesn't feel like it is the right brush. It just feels like maybe it's just so big and I'm zoomed in. It just felt like I was behaving like the splatter brush, which wasn't going to work for me. All right. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Now, we do have, like, I'm hoping to get a little bit further ahead on some of these cards over the weekend. That's part of my art catch-up. But we have a couple that are all going to be related. So we're going to have another one that's got a kind of a curtain that opens in because it's going to be kind of welcoming you into the circus. And then we're going to have the jugglers. So we're going to have these guys, but a little bit more closer up and kind of performing amongst the tents and things. So some very similar designs are coming our way. Sometimes that has been happening in the deck, either on purpose sometimes or by accident sometimes. It's kind of good because like you have like the references already ready to go. That was a horrible attempt. Let's try again. So you already have the references on hand, so you're gonna like able to just kind of keep going, or what you're learning from one card you can apply onto the next one, and then and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it just happens by accident too. Let's try that again. No good. And then there's a shadow here I want to get rid of. Where is that? Oh, it's on a different layer. Okay, I'll get rid of it later. Muffy says you look at your old art for reference too. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, you gotta be inspired by past you too. Actually, when I was doing the apartment cleaning, I mentioned on another stream that I found some of my sketchbooks, and I haven't had a chance to really sit and go through them. That's my next step. But what I did see just in the quick glances that I found, that I took while I was making the piles and stuff, was like, oh my gosh, I had forgotten about a lot of this work. So maybe I'll go back to some. It'd be kind of fun. Besides, I'm patient. Thank goodness, because there's a lot going on in this studio right now, and it feels like I'm going slow some days. All right, now let's get some highlights on here. Again, nothing too aggressive, just a little bit. Mafu's excited for the figure drawing tour. Not to worry, that is on its way. I just have to plan it out in my head. I feel you, it's not an easy one bit. Yeah, it's hard to, especially with the creative mind. You wanna be doing all the things. You don't just have one idea and then execute on it, and then have an idea and then execute on that one. You have 8,000 different ideas that all want to be done at one time. Sheesh. Like, I want to sit and play with my sketchbook, but I have important tarot business to do. And basic adulting too always gets in the way. What do you mean I have to do laundry and groceries? Those won't do themselves? Sheesh. Oh, the chaos. I missed one. Oh, what an outrage. Oh my goodness. All right, let's hit save and have some water. Alrighty, see? Now, let's take care of that shadow. Oh, that's not the one I want. Where's this guy? This guy? Where the heck is his shadow? What is this? Okay. Penny's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. So nice to see you. What the heck? Where did this guy come from? What the heck are you doing, bro? What is this? What is this doing? This one? Okay, there's a duplicate of something in here. Nope. What is going on? Well, it's at least a little less dark. That's a little bit chaotic. Okay. Now, let's see what we've got. looking like there needs to be another something with our jugglers here. Everybody's welcoming Penny in. Mafu says, Penny, we're safe. The latest alert said they've got everything under control and we can resume life normally. Oh my goodness. Well, that's good news. I'm very sorry that that's a situation you are currently in. Yikes, that's very scary. I'm just trying to debate what I want to do here. For everybody's reference who is listening on a different chat, Mafu is in the Emirates right now. Penny is sad to be in the USA, but glad Mafu is safe. I'm sorry, Penny. We are glad that you are safe. Penny, how was your weekend? How are things going for you and Miss Luna and your life right now? Oh dear. No, that's absolutely not what I want. Getting a little bit of a shadow here as I feel like these were a little... Oh dear, what's happening? Arby says, my colleague is there and we chat daily since things happened, but they're safe. Some minor damage, nothing too bad. Oh, phew. Yikes. This isn't on multiply. That's why it's acting silly. Okay. I don't want to put too many more shadows on there. I think that's going to get a little bit too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is our magic. So, on a new layer, in white. Oh dear, that is way too big. I don't think that's what I want to do. I think I want to do the other splashy one. I thought I wanted something different, but I don't. Yay, magic time! Yes, yes. So we've seen this effect before on one of our children who's part of the circus. So this falls under my like unofficial rule of not showing faces in the deck because I want it to be very sorry, lost my train of thought. Not showing faces because I want to leave like kind of the cards to have more of like an energy and kind of a feeling, and leave some parts open to interpretation. So I didn't want to have the faces. So I had to figure out how to do like, because a ringmaster is going to be very right in front of you, look at me, I'm telling you about the show. So it was going to be hard to have their face kind of hidden under like a veil or the hat or anything, because they're going to be very like, what's up? So I figured I would try this similar effect to what we did before, so that the magic kind of covers the face, but the person's still very like front and center. We have Alessandra in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm late, just finished eating dinner and washing dishes. Also been busy making stickers from upcoming art events. Oh my gosh. What a busy evening. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad you were able to make it in all of that busyness. Oops. We're here for moral support for your sticker making. That's not what I wanted to do, but that is okay. So I'm going to do a couple different layers here just while we play with different brushes and different ideas. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't do anything crazy. Because I don't always know how I want the effect to come across. So if I put all these on the same layer, then it's harder for me to erase and kind of play around with different effects. So here we're gonna just see what we get. So I already don't think I like that very much because I want to use a different, I have a different brush I think would work a little better. This one. Oh yes, Penny's question. What did you eat for dinner, Alessandra? I love this brush. So this one's a pressure sensitivity one, meaning that like it's driven by how I hold the pencil and how hard I hold it. I'm gonna get a little bit, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because that's a little bit chaotic. I like the effect that we got there. Actually, you know what I might try? Ooh. No, I don't want to do that, but we will turn it down a bit. Harvey says, hopefully nothing too spicy. I don't want to be too spicy. Let's see, like that, this brush like really leans on how I hold the brush and the pressure I use and stuff, so it gets a really cool effect. And then I want to use one of my noise ones. This one maybe? Oh, it's really big. Can I bring it down? That's not the right one. Maybe this one? Yeah, that's more what we're looking for. Just a little more of a subtle approach. Again, pressure sensitive, so see how there's tiny little dots coming out? I'm not using my brush very hard, but then when I lay down, it goes really thick. Let's kind of follow the same line here. It's a little bit chaotic otherwise, bro. Okay, we need something else that's gonna fill the space. What do we got? Oh geez, that's aggressive. Let's bring that down a bit. So we just want to kind of like hide the face a little bit, so that it's not weird that we're not seeing all the features. And I want the noise to be on top of this one. I don't think that does a huge change. Alessandra had rotini and chicken and veggies. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. Okay, so I think I want this to be knocked back a little bit. Or do we want it to be an overlay? Oh, it's the wrong one. Oops, this one. I don't dislike that. So if we do, oops. Yeah, it's not covering up too much. Okay, okay. Oh, Sandra cooked everything herself. Excellent. It's the best way to guarantee that you have the correct ingredients. If you have ingredient sensitivities, as I know you do, just like me. I just did groceries after work to do just the same thing. It's the only way to be sure. Oops, where's my smoke? There it is. Okay, I think I want the smoke a little stronger now. This is why I like to play with the layers. And let's see. Let's see. I kind of want to do maybe some stars just close by there, not too many. We'll pull back here, pull back a little here so that we're not pulling focus. And we'll make this one a ooh, I kind of like that. But then I'm going to duplicate the layer and I'm going to make it, oh shoot. So duplicating it kind of gave it a little bit more of a effect. So if I do this, there we go. I think I need to, not that one. Okay, we'll pull this back a little bit more. So it kind of looks like it's giving him bunny ears a little bit. Don't really want that. Oops. Erase, please. Especially with the feather already there. Oh dear, Alessandra, you need to take a break. Oh, everything's fighting back. We can't have this. There's the thing I'm looking for. There we go. La 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 la. All right, let's see what we got here. Better paper for sticker printing. Excellent. Always a challenge to find the right tools. Okay, now what am I looking for here? Okay, I want the splatter one, which I think is on the bottom. Okay, because I kind of want to kind of ends abruptly here, so I kind of want to give it a little bit more something, something. A little bit more something, something. Alessandra's been sharing photos of her sticker invasion and mess. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I don't think I know what any of this means. Oops, 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 oops. Don't scroll. All right, so Mafu's got some evidence of gameplay. And I'm glad that there's some evidence. That's good, that's good. And you can go back to it and see how you did. I gotta show off my ultimate maid. So funny. I do love that you gave him like a maid costume. That's freaking hilarious. Okay, now what time is it? Oh my goodness. Okay, we have like that. I don't know what's gonna work for me, but let's see. I need this to be bigger. That's what I need. Oof. Only if yeah, that could work. Okay. So if I move this, so when I hit the transform on a layer, I hit the transform tool over here on the left. It's gonna if I don't have a lasso, or if I'm like I don't have anything specifically selected, it's just gonna grab that whole layer. Normally not really what I'm looking for, just because of the elaborate things I have on the go here. But in this case, definitely something I wanna I'm more easily able to explore, because I'm just kind of doing more focused effects. It's not grabbing the whole page or making huge effects. Alessandra says, how is it 7:34 already? Shaking her head. And RB says, maybe your clock is running fast. Maybe all the clocks are running fast. Maybe. Hilarious. Okay. Okay, now I need a little bit more of, now the downside to using the white paint here is I can't really pick the layer very nicely, but that is okay. Just need a little bit more stuff around here, I think, without going too crazy. Not like really, like almost none. Mafu has built full lore around Jin being a maid. I love how far we're taking it. I love it. Okay, so I'm feeling like I'm liking this. Okay. Okay, so what I think, this is pretty cool. What do we think? What do we think? Because what I'm gonna do right now, because we have some minutes, is this is what I would do. Just doing a quick second check. That makes me very happy that you love it. I hope to show more progress. You're doing great. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited. Okay, just doing a quick sanity check. Feeling really good about this. I don't want to turn the smoke off, but I think I have to turn the smoke off. Where is it? Yeah, I think we gotta turn the smoke off. Unless I turn it down like a lot. It's very, yeah, let's just turn it down quite a bit because it's giving him bunny ears and I'm not really super stoked about it. Mafu says, I love how you look at it from far and it still shows the texture. Me too. I always try and like do this kind of crazy zoom out every now and again because the cards are going to be like, the art's going to be kind of small. So I worry that I spend all this time on these details and it like won't work. What if I do this? What if we shift the smoke a little bit? Because that would be unfortunate if it didn't show the texture still. See, okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. Okay, I like that. Okay, so we're gonna hit save. And okay. So when I'm done a piece, like normally I finish this and I would walk away and check on it tomorrow, pop open my iPad, take a look at it on my lunch break, take a glance like, oh, what jumps out at me, and kind of give it a little bit. But you don't want to watch a live stream of me doing that. So, so I'll show you the next steps. But first, Mafu says, I think I understand as well. Like you don't want your efforts to go to waste in every situation. Exactly. I sometimes when I'm zoomed in, I'll do all these details and I'll worry about the tiny little pieces, but they might not matter on the grand scale of things. And also like if I'm zoomed in, like I either might lose those details when I zoom out or when the art is scaled down to fit the card, or I'll have put too much detail in and muddy it. That's kind of what I was talking about with the jugglers as well. I wanted to pop them away from their surface a little bit, but I didn't want to put a lot of detail into them because then they start competing with the ringmaster. And I really want to have that depth and that layer effect. So yeah, so that's why I do like to zoom out every now and again. A lot of my art teachers, a lot of art people will tell you that, is to like zoom out. I had a roommate, and I should probably get into better habit of this, but she would, when she was in Photoshop, she would mirror her canvas every now and again. And so she'd flip it just to make sure that the balance made a lot more sense and to make sure like her faces were even and her like proportions were even. I haven't gotten into that habit. I've done some mirroring of pieces before and been like, ugh, like that's not where her nose goes on a face. But it's always kind of a really cool, like a good way to make sure that you're either not underdoing it or overdoing it and that everything still works really well. Because I could have easily made this, like I think that the magic effect works nicely in that it covers the face, so that it's not weird that there's not any features there, but not so much that it's taking over, but not so little that it's like, what the heck is going on? Okay, so we'll assume I've taken my night to sleep on it, and we'll go through the next steps of what I normally do. So I publish out from Fresco, and I export a few of these. So I export a PNG out to my computer, and then we're going to switch over. Okay, that one's done. And while I'm doing this, like I can go in and do it later, but while I'm doing it, I do a raw Photoshop file as well, which maintains my layers as best as it can, converting over to Fresco. Let's just turn that down a little bit. So it maintains my layers. So should I want to do something on the computer, I have those layers available. And then I export a PDF because that is one I can pull the line art from. I've been playing with a lot of different effects in the past, like of trying to get the file onto my desktop so I can do the coloring pages without kind of redoing these or kind of exporting just a group of layers. So the PDF is usually the best bet. Like there's some things with the effects when you apply them, with the way the layers work, sometimes it'll rasterize your liner, so it's not always perfect. But a PDF, this PDF, I can open up in Illustrator and play around with as well. So I can get that line art out without having to do a lot of extra work, using it for coloring pages or a coloring book or something else later on. So now let me get give me 3 seconds to get myself squared away here. Where is she? Come here. So we will start. Oh dear. You guys can take a look at my beautiful face for a sec. Hi. Just let me get myself sorted out. Oh no! Undo that. Okay, let's get this out of here. Did a brush all over the thing. So I just want to get Restream up here so I don't miss any of your lovely chats. And then we're going to get into... So pretty. Thank you. So thank you. Let's do this. This one. Okay, we're just loading it up. Have some water. Here we go. Chat. There we go. Okay, so now I'm not going to miss your chats. So now we're going to switch to this guy. And I'm going to... You get to see all of my fun desktop here. So let's get these loaded up. So what I do now, so now you can see my Ringmaster has been brought onto my computer. So we have our flat image here. That was our PDF, our PNG, and PSD. They all look the same, just for those of you who don't use files like this very often. They just have different purposes. So the PNG is our flat image, which I generally use for the rest of the creation, mostly because I lost my train of thought again. Well, because like the PSD and the PDF are just really big files, so the PNG is going to give me just like a flat image that I can use. RB says, when would you pick up your guitar and start jamming? Oh, she rusty. I don't think anybody wants to do that. I haven't played in a little bit, so it's a little rusty. Okay, let me get to, you guys get to watch all my file chaos here. We're gonna go to the Night Circus. So the Ringmaster is a, oh no, it's a train. He is a tent. How is he a tent? Why did I do this? This is craziness. Okay. Oh, there's my references. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these guys in here. They just default to like my downloads folder. And then what we're going to do first, do I not have a raw? I'm almost on the tents. I've usually had like an Illustrator file that has all of these raw in here. But I think I'm almost on the tent, so I didn't do that. So we're gonna open this guy. I just want to open another card from the same suit. Because it'll have the name of the card on it, and it will have the layout and the style and everything that I need. So see, we have our wands here. So this is our paper creatures one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place our Ringmaster here. Now Illustrator remembers the last thing I was working on, so that's why we're jumping all over to different things. But all I'm doing is double clicking the PNG, and it's going to give me a prompt. So now all I have to do is click. If I wanted a certain size or something, I could click and drag here. I just want him to come in size as. So I'm just going to click one time. And that's now placed on my computer in my file. And I'm going to put it up here, and then Shift Command right square bracket. to send it all the way to the back of that layer. Because everything was on top of it there, so I didn't want to... I want it to be on the bottom. I want it to be underneath this border here in this template. And now here's where I shuffle about to make sure we get the right amount of space without any white space. Gonna go a little this way. Just using the arrow keys there. If you hold shift, it'll go in bigger increments, but I kind of just, this is the part of the finicky part of the process here. Right, tweak and tweak. This is usually why I do this by myself. You guys don't want to watch me like one to the left, one to the right. How exciting. Okay, but I feel like that feels really balanced. Sorry, got my, the light from my lamp right here was like right on my screen. Okay. Liking that. Okay, and now I want to check and make sure he's the king. What? Oh yeah, that's right. So we're gonna update the 9 to the K. Oh no, silly. Just the 1. Now this will be something I have to take a look at when I'm finished all the cards. And kind of make sure I handle like the K and the circle kind of the same way on each one, because I think there's some where I've like, oops, I don't love a tangent, but that one kind of works nicely. But I think also some of them I kind of created this overlap. So that will be part of my file cleanup when we get finished. But this is definitely wants and tents. Okay. So I'm gonna file save as. I had initially had like a raw file, like I said, for each suit. I had done a raw file for each of these cards, but was finding there's a lot of redundancy. But because the tents were like practically finished, I think that's why I didn't bother with that, because I have, what, 2 more cards left in that suit. So I didn't create a raw one. It's been a while since I've done a tent card, to be honest. So maybe that's why I didn't do that. Just because each of these files takes up a lot of space. Like in these documents, I'll eventually have like, these are print layout options and then coloring pages and things like that. I think I'm going to handle it a little differently just because these files take up so much space on my computer. And like I said, it's a lot of redundancy. So I have a plan to sit down and keep that cleaned up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to option click. I have that whole card selected, and what that option does is duplicates everything I have selected. And then I'm going to go into my width, make sure I have the whole thing selected, and I'm going to do 2.75 inches. Make sure the measurements are in there, because right now my measurements are in points on Illustrator. And what that does is that brings it down to the actual size of what the card will look like. So that's where this little one comes from. And I do that after I have everything else, everything lined up, like the font and the letters and all that kind of stuff. I want to make sure that they're done first before I do that, because increment movements on this side are going to be different than what they were on the other one. So I really just do this to compare the sizing. So I use the larger card size for prints and things like that at a smaller scale, because you want to have your art bigger than what your final result is, if possible, so that you don't lose detail along the way. It kind of gives it a little bit more depth. But then this smaller scale, I just did, Command 1 is like actual size. So this gives me, like according to your like screen resolution and everything like that, what your card will actually kind of look like. So this gives me an idea of like, are there some pixels that are in the way? Is this tail of the coat too close to the edge? It gives me a little bit more information and a little bit more focus that the bigger card doesn't give me. But I think he's looking pretty good. So I just want to make sure. Okay, I want to make sure I hadn't lost you guys. Okay, good. So what I do next is I select the big card again and I do File, Export Selection. And it's going to go out, I have it set at a 300 ppi PNG, so that's the resolution of the graphic I'm exporting. That's really big, like that's big, like it's a more of a print size. It's not really for screen size, but I'm thinking ahead to when I do print these cards, so I'd be using a very large, heavy file so that when they do scale them down to the cards, again, details aren't getting lost. And I have a folder that it's going to go to for a sec, and that folder is going to pop up when it's done. It's right here. Whoops, what the heck is that? So I'm going to do the king, ringmaster, shoot, large. That's what I've been labeling them as. Pull them out of here, get this folder out of here. I'm trying to be a little bit more better about my files because I have a lot of work to do to get this all cleaned up. So that's done there. So that, oops, sorry, the large is just our card on its own. From there, now I can do the mock-up. So here I do have a mock-up universal file. What do you mean Photoshop can't be opened? It's right here. Oh dear. These computers, I freaking swear. Oh, it's mid-updating. That's why. What is happening? What is going on? Sorry, guys. Wouldn't be a live stream if there was, like, you know, not a technical difficulty. Okay, well, what I would normally do on the fly here, so you can see what this guy looks like. So in the Photoshop file, all of the cards that are for the tents or the wands in a regular tarot deck, they're all going to have this background with this gold flowers and gold things like that. And all I'm going to do, and I've put it in here, I've put on a shadow, I've kind of given it a bit of a depth, I've given a bit of a glow, all that kind of stuff, a bit of a reflection is in there. So all of that's set up in that file. So all I have to do now is, if Photoshop was playing the game, I would be substituting this, our Hall of Mirrors here that we did a few weeks ago, and it's substituting that art for the large one I just exported, and then everything would kind of look the same. So that's how I'm creating those Behance, like all those kind of covers and kind of final results that you see in Behance. That's why they're kind of a little bit more consistent. Okay, this is going to have to be a solution for another day. Okay, so we won't do the Photoshop bit, but from there, I will do, okay, a new window, and we will do Behance. I'll show you, I've shown you this in the past, but this is kind of just like a fresher way of doing this. I have all my drafts in here. I don't think there's anything on this file. Okay, so I just want to make sure I wasn't going to overwrite things. So what I do is I go to my work page, and generally what I'll do is I'll grab a recent project and I'll clone it. So what that'll do, so I grabbed the Knight of Coins in this case, and I'll clone it. I can do another one, it's fine. Hit clone. Yes, I want to clone it. And then it's going to go into my draft section. So you see the same thing. So it's basically like a copy and paste. So if I have a project that I want to do that's going to have a very similar layout like the tarot cards, that way they're all kind of consistent. I have a similar consistency in the writing, etc. Then I'm going to, it saves me from having to start each one from scratch. So what I can do here, short of one, is go in and then have this, I have the same layout relatively for each one. So what I'll do here is I'll replace this image with the Ringmaster PNG. See, it's going to update there. And then this grid I'm going to edit because I had reference files from my Firefly. So we add those in, take these guys out. I'm going to take one of these out and then edit this grid and put one in. Just because they're so horizontal, I don't want them to be too little. One thing I don't have in the projects lately, because I've been working so a little bit quicker, I don't have kind of those process sketches and stuff as much. So you like to replace that. So here I'm going to put in the live streams. I just go into YouTube and get the embed code and put them in here. So I'd update that. If I had more stuff, like I said, I'm going through some old sketchbooks, and there is a sketchbook in this pile here that is full of tarot content, like original sketches and everything. So I am, as I develop new cards, will be including those kinds of sketches in here, and I'll be going back to older ones that have already been developed that will have that content in there. So I kind of like I copy and paste, but I add and remove as more things matter. So this one doesn't have a lot of pre-sketches. It has all like all of that's kind of on the live stream already, so that will show up in these parts of the content. And then I update things. I update this to match the Ringmaster once I figure out what the heck Photoshop's doing. And then I update all of the copy to match, which is in my Trello board for all my tarot cards. Not this one. You usually get to see all the hues and tones plans. It's very exciting business. So all of this, so our tents, my Ringmaster has what the card's about, all that kind of stuff, and any other notes that I may have come up with in the meantime. So that's where I fill this in. So it's kind of like a starting point. And like I said, I kind of have a different template. Like some of the old, like the initial cards have a lot more depth because I would think to export the sketches, and I think to export all the different like line art processes and things like that. Here I just kind of keep drawing and then forget to do that. I could go back and create those, which I may just do. But really, I just put in whatever content I have for this specific card. Sometimes I have videos of when I was, like videos from when I was actually sketching from it. So I like to put that in there. Sometimes, like I said, I have older sketches or other things that work for me. Sometimes I have different parts of the process, like, oh, I drew it this way, like the snake charmers are one like that, where I drew them one way and then I ended up showing them in a different way. So it's kind of like whatever is appealing to the card, and I customize this. Sometimes the build has more content because it took me a long time to figure out how I wanted something laid out. Sometimes there's more structure. Sometimes the story behind it, kind of why I picked this, is more important. So I do that and have all this content built up. And when it's ready, then I go in, I update the cover, which I can't do right now because Photoshop's broken. But then update all the metadata here, and then I would hit publish. But right now she's not finished, so I'm gonna just change the name of this so that I remember. King of Wands. Nope, that's not. Oh, it is. Phew. Okay. Not once, but wands. So save as draft. And then, come on. Sometimes I have this page is kind of like the deck as a whole, where I got started. Actually, let's see what's in here. I haven't looked at this one in a while. So this is the Firefly export that actually kind of kicked off the style. But these are all photos that I've been collecting for years for this content. Style inspiration for the paper layering, ideas for the back of the card, templates for the layout, live streams for all those things, all the kind of figuring out how things should do. This is very early days. Look at these cards. My goodness gracious. So all this kind of like how to build it. What oops? What oops? Are we still there? Anyway, hopefully you're still there. I'm almost done. But then I have all the streams and stuff of like how I built it and all the different designs. Your screen went black. Oh dear. I still have the video. YouTube error. What are you doing, YouTube? What are you doing? Why are we not playing the game? Why are we being silly? Oof. You might hear my own little voice here. Oh, no, I've got a video still. What the heck's going on? Okay. Well, if we're starting to glitch out, we'll take it out. But like this is kind of more of, I like to have a lot of stuff in each card to kind of really talk about. But some cards come out a lot quicker than other ones. Some of them have like 4 or 5 live streams with them. Some of them have no live streams with them. So each card has its own little life. But this content here is really going to help me when I get to writing the book and getting everything, the content ready for the cards, different adjustments that need to make, all those kinds of things. Oh, I think everything's glitching out here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to this. All right. So we seem to be glitching out. So as we're running out of, for anybody who might still be here, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm hoping to have something a little different next week. I know I keep promising that, but I want to make sure that I'm not just kind of like lying to you. I do have some fun projects that I think would be a little bit more interesting. You guys have been hanging out for the tarot so often, and I really appreciate it, but I'd like to give you guys something a little different. So we'll do something a little bit different next week, but I'm appreciating you guys all hanging out here. So thanks so much for you all being here. Please stay safe where you're at. No matter where you are, please stay safe. I hope you're all doing okay, and you're able to take some time to do something that's good for you. So thanks so much, everybody, and thanks for this being one of those things for you. Have a great week, and I'll catch you all on Monday. Thanks, guys. Bye.